Live now to the US West Coast and Christopher Clarke, Professor of Economics at Washington State University. Thank you for being with us.
Good evening. Pleasure to be here.
So for days now, the US President has publicly criticised Fed Chair Jerome Powell, essentially for holding rates steady. Here is the President speaking Friday. Listen to this.
I keep hearing about prices and inflation. Prices are coming down, not going up. Only the fake news says they're going up. The only thing that's even are interest rates. And if we had a Fed chairman that understood what he was doing, interest rates would be coming down too. He should bring them down.
Okay, it's not fake news. CPI for March was 2.4%, which means prices are not going down, they're going up, but it is close to the Fed's official goal of 2%. But that was a world before Trump imposed sweeping global tariffs. So let's say the Fed chair was not guaranteed an independence by a Supreme Court ruling, and Powell was obliged to do as the president asked. What does that do to the inflation? What does the economy look like?
Well, that would be a catastrophic shift in the financial institutions that have governed the world's largest economy, and the consequences would be dire just from the shock alone. But in terms of what it would do to prices, with tariffs coming, we're going to see higher prices. And if you're going to lower the interest rate, then that will fuel the economy, spurring prices to go up even higher.
And this isn't just a hypothetical. Here's part of a report from the Wall Street Journal just 4 years ago. After years in which he has weakened Turkish institutions and centralized power, Mr. Erdogan, as Recep Tayyip Erdogan, has now assumed broad control over the economy, with no one within the government to oppose him, former Turkish officials say. Erdogan has successfully pressured the central bank to slash interest rates despite rapid inflation. So, after peaking at more than 75% in May last year, inflation in Turkey has now eased to a gentle 38%. You know, I guess this isn't entirely apples for apples comparison, but it seems pretty close to what could happen in the US if somehow Powell was fired.
Well, the laws of economics don't care what country you're from or what period in history you are. We have been studying monetary policy for a couple centuries, and what happened in Turkey could easily happen here.
And so basically the only check and balance on essentially what happened in Turkey and happening here is that Supreme Court ruling from the 1930s, I believe, that essentially guarantees the independence of the members of the federal board as well as the chairman himself.
Right, and that independence we have found by comparing central banks across the globe adds to more inflation stability. When a central bank is closely run by the government, there is pressure to keep those interest rates low, which lead to a higher long-run average inflation rate.
Okay, but the problem here, it seems, is that any kind of legal guarantees doesn't seem to mean a lot to the Trump White House. I want you to listen to an economic advisor to Donald Trump speaking on Friday about what they're actually looking at doing. Here he is.
Do you think firing Jay Powell is an option now in a way that it wasn't before?
The president and his team will continue to study that matter.
Just that mere fact alone that the administration is looking at ways to remove Powell, that's had a chilling effect on financial markets. How much is this now fueling the total lack of confidence in the US economy?
It is absolutely one of the contributing factors. Not only is the world leader in trade shrinking back from that, but responsible financial management and professionalism, which is one of the core of doing business and one of the founding principles of capitalism, is all under threat, being taken over by politicized and corrupt practices.
Christopher Clarke, succinct and to the point. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.